Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel, Peter's Movie Reviews. And today I want to do something a little bit different over here. Okay, so I watch a lot of movie review videos on YouTube where they rank an entire franchise from best to worst or worst to last. And if you guys watch my videos regularly, you know that every year I pick a horror movie franchise to watch during the month of October leading up to Halloween. Last year on my Peter Does Stuff channel, we watched the entire Halloween franchise, which I have watched many, many times, every single movie in the franchise. And this year I picked the Saw franchise and I watched all the Saw movies. So I had wanted to make a video about the Halloween movies. I love the Halloween movies. I've loved them for years. It's probably the very first horror movie I ever watched was the original Halloween. To be honest with you, there's really only one movie in the franchise that I really don't like. And I'll even watch that. I just love the Halloween franchise. I love everything about Michael Myers. My friends and I would watch the original over and over and over again in high school, and we would count the mistakes that were made by production. We would count how many times Linda says totally in the movie, PJ Souls. We just loved the movie Halloween, and I've watched every new movie that's come out in the Halloween franchise. It's probably not only one of my, it is my favorite horror movie franchise of life, but it's also probably one of my favorite just movie franchises of life. To me, it's so strange because and Jaws as well. I love the Jaws franchise. I should do a Jaws ranking as well because I'm scared of the death of sharks, but I love the Jaws franchise. I love the Jaws movies. And for me, it's almost about like the people in the movie and the story building and all of that. It's funny because like what I was going to say is that the Halloween movies bring me so much comfort. Like I will throw one of them on and just have it on in the background while I'm doing stuff around the house. And even though they're scary, there's something comforting about it to me. I just love the Halloween movies so much. So last night I was getting ready to watch another movie and do a reaction to it and a review. And I thought, no, I'm going to finally do this Halloween ranking. So I got on the computer last night. I brought up all the Halloween movies and I did this with a lot of intention. I was like, I really want to think about this, okay? And so for those of you that do not know, there are 13 movies. There's considered 13 movies in the Halloween franchise, okay? So in the Michael Myers timeline, or Michael Myers franchise, there are 10 movies, all right? Then there are 2 movies that Rob Zombie did, and there are Halloween 1 and Halloween 2 that Rob Zombie directed, and those are also about Michael Myers, but they are different than the original series. Then there's Halloween 3, which has nothing to do with Michael Myers whatsoever. And so I'm just going to be talking about the 10, okay? From the original to Halloween Ends that came out in 2022. I'm just gonna be talking about those 10. Halloween 3, I will tell you, I watched it again last year and hadn't watched it in many, many years. I loved Halloween 3. I remembered it being super, super campy, which it is, but I thought it did such a good job of standing alone on its own as just a great horror movie. I loved it. The Rob Zombie movies as well, I kind of remember not really liking them. It's a completely different spin on the Michael Myers story, keeping to the original kind of narrative, but I love the Rob Zombie ones too. Rob Zombie is one of my favorite horror movie directors of life, as well as musicians. I love the song Living Dead Girl, but anyway, White Zombie. The Devil's Rejects, House of a Thousand Corpses. House of a Thousand Corpses is probably one of my favorite horror movies of life. I think it's so unique and so well done. But I've been wanting to rank these Halloween movies from worst to best, okay? Now, I will tell you that there are many, many different ways that you can look at the Halloween movies. Like, if you look it up online, like, how should you look at them? Or how should you watch them? Should you watch them in release order? From like the date that they were released to the, like from the beginning to the end. There's different timelines that happen. Like a couple years ago, like there's the original and then the remake of Halloween that I believe came out in 2018. I have it all listed here. Came out, and then that timeline is the original Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. Some people say that's the only franchise you should watch because that keeps to the original story. I like all of them. I'm just going to be honest with you. I like all of them for different reasons. I mean, there's H2O, where she has a son, that's Josh Hartnett, and Laurie Strode, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, is, working at a boarding school. Then she dies in Halloween Resurrection at the beginning of it. I mean, there's whole storylines where Laurie Strode has died over. I mean, she's died so many times over and over again. I don't know. Like, I just love just any of it. I love any of it. So I went in, and the way that I ranked them is which movies I would go to watch over and over again, and which ones I'm least likely. Like which ones are like internally just like by my heart, my favorites, okay? So I'm not basing them on anything other than which ones do I love the most, okay? That I would recommend to somebody else. Not based on their, cinematography or how well they're filmed or the story or plot line, because some of my favorites, the plot line is horrible, in all honesty. I just loved a lot of the different kinds. They make me scared or something about it. So I have a feeling my ranking is probably going to be a lot different than any other ranking you've ever seen before, because I think a lot of the rankings are based on like the scare factor of it, the cinematography, how well it was filmed, how well it was written, things like that. That's not necessarily, I just ranked them on how much do I love this movie versus the other one. So, are y'all ready? Okay, now I want you in the comment section below. I'm sure a lot of you will disagree with me. I want you to let me know what your favorites are, your least favorites in the comment section below. Okay. So reigning in at number 10, I have it all typed up here. Reigning in at number 10 as the worst. The thing is about this is there's really not a Halloween movie in the franchise that I don't like, that I wouldn't watch again. But the very worst one, 10 out of 10 for me, well not 10, or the 10th one out of 10 movies, is Halloween Resurrection, which came out in 2002. And it is where, at the beginning of it, Laurie Strode is in a psych hospital, and Michael Myers gets into the hospital, and they both, like, go to the roof, and then she falls off the roof, and she thinks she's killing Michael, and then she gets killed on a tree. And then there's a reality show with Busta Rhymes, and they're in the old Myers house. I mean, one of the reasons why I love Halloween so much is it's kind of like a cozy mystery series. I know it's a horror movie, but they keep on going back to the same houses. I mean, it's the same storyline kind of reinvented like 50 times, which I kind of love. So I mean, if you've watched a couple of them, you know like everything to do with it, right? And so Busta Rhymes is in it. For me, it's just the least scary of them. I don't love the reality TV aspect to it. I don't think it's the greatest one. It's probably not one that I would watch over and over and over again. So Halloween Resurrection is the worst of the Halloween franchise to me. Okay? Coming in at number 9, which will probably, so the best is going to be saved for last. Coming in at number 9, this will probably surprise people, is Halloween Ends, which is the very last movie in the franchise. It came out in 2022. It's how supposedly the franchise ends. People keep on hinting out that there's going to be another Halloween movie. I think at some point there probably will be. I had a lot of feelings. I think on one of my other channels, like maybe my review channel or something like that, I did an entire review of this already. I haven't seen it since it originally came out. I saw it in the movie theater. For me, it didn't work on a couple levels. First of all, the Halloween franchise is such a huge franchise. People love it. People go to, Horrorhound weekends and other horror weekends to see the cast and Jamie Lee Curtis speak. And there's all this phenomenon around the Halloween franchise. The fact that I thought it would be genius to like run some kind of contest and have like 5 or 10 fans help them write the final script to the final movie, or have fans in the movie or something. I mean, I don't know, just like cater to the fans a little bit. And they did not do that. What they did do was they entered into the movie narrative, which I think it's interesting that on the last movie, so Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode is in it again, and they enter into it Corey, okay, who's this kid that's kind of misunderstood because he was babysitting this kid and the kid died, and so he's been seen as like this outcast ever since then. But then Corey is kind of like mentored indirectly by Michael Myers, who's like living underneath this bridge. I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. The whole introduction of Corey into the Halloween franchise was not needed. I thought the guy that played Corey was fantastic. It just was not needed. I didn't love it. I thought that it fell so short of being the final movie. I mean, it's a final movie in a 10-part franchise, and it fell so low for me. I was so disappointed in Halloween Ends. Coming in at number 8 is actually the movie before that, and that is Halloween Kills, which came out in 2021. Now, I liked the movie because it played into kind of like the old, like people from the past, like Tommy Doyle and Lindsay and all that kind of stuff from the very first one that Laurie Strode is babysitting them. But Anthony Michael Hall playing Tommy Doyle when Paul Rudd had already played him in another one did not, I don't know. Anthony Michael Hall as Tommy Doyle to me just did not work. I loved bringing Kyle Richards back. I loved them bringing back the nurse from Halloween, the original Halloween. I loved all of that. But, and like I said, I liked the movie, but I just didn't love it. I thought it was fun to but like, it was constantly like, evil dies tonight, evil dies tonight. It's always people running around and I don't know, in parks and swing sets. I think it's good. I think it's, like I said, I love all of these movies. There's really not one of these that I don't love. But there just was so much that didn't work for me in that movie. So, number 8 is Halloween Kills. Okay, number 7 is Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, and it came out in 1989. And this is actually the follow-up to Halloween 4 with Jamie, which is Jamie is introduced in Halloween 4. Jamie is the daughter of Laurie Strode, okay? And in Halloween 4, she's living in this foster home. In Halloween 5, she, at the end of it, is like holding a knife and she's in this psych unit because Michael Myers has been trying to kill her. Or maybe she's holding a knife at the end of number 5. I can't remember. But anyway, I think that's end of number 5. At the end of number 4, she's in a psych unit. And Dr. Loomis is still alive and he's checking on her. I love Dr. Loomis and all of them, but until he passes away. But even like later they play like, you know, they pay homage to him. But anyway, Dr. Loomis goes to visit her in the psych hospital and she's having nightmares and I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. It's, to be honest with you, it's probably one of the worst ones in the franchise, but I love Jamie as a character. I love Jamie Lloyd as a character in the movies. So that's one of the reasons why it hits more in the middle of the franchise. Number 6 is Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. It came out in 1995. And this is where Paul Rudd is playing Tommy Doyle. Now, Tommy Doyle was the young boy that Laurie Strode was babysitting in the original Halloween. This is the one where Paul Rudd is like talking on this radio station and he hears Jamie, who is now grown up, and she's been kept in this satanic cult and has this baby that it's like, anyway, and so then Paul Rudd goes to the bus station where Jamie Lloyd is supposedly at to find Jamie Lloyd and the baby. But Jamie Lloyd has been killed by Michael Myers, and so he finds the baby, and then he brings the baby home, and he's protecting the baby. I don't know. I like it. I like Paul Rudd in it. This one's scary to me. I don't love, and it's like, people could say like from the very beginning, I don't love the whole introduction of like the occult stuff to me and like the devil worshiping and all that kind of stuff that Michael Myers, I mean, that's from the very beginning, but I just don't, like, to me it takes the Halloween in a whole other direction that we just don't necessarily need for the franchise. And this one, it really gets into that. So I don't know. I like it, but it's just not my favorite. Okay, Halloween 5 is 2018. This is not writing in at number 5 is Halloween 2018. Now, this is the reinvention of Halloween. It's like we've wiped out all the sequels, and this goes from Halloween, which is 1978, to Halloween 2018. It was the anniversary of it, the 40-year anniversary of it. So we've wiped out all the sequels. None of that matters, and we've gone straight from Halloween 1 to Halloween 2018, okay? And this is where Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis, is now older. She's got a daughter. She's got a granddaughter. She's living in this farmhouse out in the middle of nowhere that's got this amazing security system. I loved all that. I love this one. I thought it was really well done. I thought we got to see who Laurie Strode had become. I just still love the sequels. I just still love the sequels in between, so it doesn't discount it for me, but I can watch all of them. I actually really, really liked this one a lot. It's where they bring in like the podcasters, and there's like this, where they go to the, I think this is the one, isn't this the one where they bring in the podcasters and they go to interview Michael Myers and the dogs go crazy and they're in the psych hospital? Okay, so I like that one. Reigning in at top 4, at number 4 is Halloween 2. That came out in 1981. This is the follow-up to Halloween 1, the original. This is where Jamie Lee Curtis is in the hospital. I actually watched this 2 times this Halloween season, and I forgot how much I really, really liked it. Had I not watched it 2 times this Halloween season, it probably wouldn't be ranking as high on my ranking list. but I kind of forgot how much I loved it and how much it just, I mean, because it came out in 1981, it's so consistent with that era of horror movies. I mean, the couple that like, you know, she burns alive in like the hot tub in the hospital that's for like burn victims. It's just so well done. And it's also like you really get to see, it's like the first introduction of like Michael Myers cannot be taken down. He just can't. So I love that one so much, you know. Anyway, Halloween now, coming in at number 3. I know this is going to surprise people, my top 3, okay? Ben Tramer. I have a bracelet that my friend Melissa got for me that says, rest in peace, Ben Tramer. My friend Melissa, she has been to the house in Pasadena. She has every mask signed by the original Michael Myers that has worn it. All the actors. Anyway, so reigning in at number 3 is Halloween 4. That came out in 1998. The Return of Michael Myers. This is where we get to see Jamie Lloyd. She is living in a foster house because Laurie Strode, her mom, has passed away. And I think that's, yeah. So anyway, and so she's got this older sister and she just wants to be like sisters, and her sister is so mean to her, and she goes, but we're not really sisters, okay? But then she has to take her babysitting, and then the girl's like, but Mom, don't you want me to get married to this stud? And so then they go over to that, so then the stud, since she can't go on a date, he goes on a date for Halloween with the policeman's daughter, and then they show up to her house, and because she's taking Jamie babysitting, and she's just got a t-shirt on because they just did it and stuff like that. But then they have to like sequester at the babysitter's house, who's the policeman's daughter. And then Michael Myers is like on the roof and he gets into the house. I love that one so much. I don't know why. I can watch that one over and over and over again. But we're not really sisters, Jamie. She's such a bitch. And she lives at the end of it. But I love that one so much. I don't know why. Okay. Number 2 is Halloween H2O that came out in 1998. H2O 20 years later. This is the one where Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode, is now at a dean at a boarding school. Josh Hartnett plays her son. He's dating Michelle Williams from Dawson's Creek. And they're supposed to go on a field trip, but they decide to stay behind so they can eat all the food and drink. And it's the anniversary of Michael Myers and the night that Laurie Strode had. So they're referencing back to the anniversary of the original Halloween. But she doesn't want to be reminded of that. She keeps on seeing like Michael Myers in mirrors and stuff like that. I love this one. I think it is so well done. But I'll tell you my favorite part of it is that at the beginning of it, the nurse from the original Halloween, she has a break-in at her house, and these 2 kids next door, they come over with their hockey sticks to take it out, and then they get killed by Michael Myers. And then there's this whole homage that's played to Dr. Loomis. I love that beginning of that Halloween H2O is like the best beginning of any Halloween ever, even the original. I think it's the best beginning to any Halloween. I love it. And then reigning in at number 1, of course, is the original Halloween that came out in 1978. My recommendation to you would be, it comes every year on Halloween. They play it in some movie theater. Go see it in the original movie theater if you have not. I saw it like a couple years ago with my friend Melissa. It was fantastic. We were like the only ones in there on Halloween night. It was so fun seeing it in the movie theater. It was like really experiencing it the way that it should be experienced. I love that movie. I can watch it over and over and over again. I still find mistakes. I still count how many times PJ Soul says totally in it. I love it so much. One of my favorite lines is, Linda, you asshole. I wish I had you all alone. Just the 2 of us. So that's my ranking on Halloween. I know that probably nobody agreed with me, and that's okay. We all have our opinions when it comes to movies. Let me know your favorite and least favorites in the comment section below. Like I said earlier, Halloween 3 is such a great movie as a standalone on its own. It's campy, but it's also scary. I would highly recommend it. Let me know all your thoughts. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.